Old Drager's got the fire.
I've got the storm.
Fighting hip-hop queens and kings.
We're in the form.
When the rooms hit the beat, let the story soar.
Brunhilde and Droger.
Right, Sanibonani Abantwana. Hello, grade 12s, and we're back with question 5 of the series of the CAT Prelim 2026. Hope you're enjoying it. Please like and subscribe. Help us out. Okay, that's the right thing to do. Okay, right. So we're looking at the number 5 database. Okay, and question 5 database. And I'm just going to work through this quickly, just to try to keep it a bit shorter. Right. Some data was prepared about upcoming Formula One races in August and September, and rankings of the participants. All right. You are required to help with some analysis. Right. Open 5 races database. Okay. Now, guys, straight away people just start going down like a sheep. Okay, just following whatever the paper says. But again, I'm going to suggest, guys, I'd be the person who is just going to look around for half a minute. Right, countries, you can see I'm just double clicking, looking around. I can see there are tables that have been created with various names. Okay, all right, and I can see that there are queries. Okay, so that's the second part of the database. Remember, there should be 4. You've got tables, you've got queries, you've got forms. Here they are. And you've got reports. Okay, great. All right, and we'll be working through those. So far, everything is working in my database. There's no pop-up errors or things like that. Right, and let's go see what the first question asks us to do. It says 5.1. Import. Oh, that's a new function. It's not often that they've used that, guys, through the years that I'm aware. So yes, this might be a little bit challenging for you guys, all right? But import the positions worksheet. Okay, so they're telling us which worksheet of the 5 import spreadsheet. So there's a spreadsheet which they've created, and in that spreadsheet, grade 12s, is a worksheet called position. Very important. Okay, located in your exam folder. And when we import it, what should we call it? Table 5_1. And you do not need to set a primary key for this. Okay, so let's go and have a look. Right, so to import data, we have to look at external data. All right, so there's my function, external data. We're going to click on a new data source. All right, and we're going from file. And the file we're looking for is Excel. Okay, there it is, Excel. Right, good. The pop-up opens up, and we can just look what it requires us to do. Now, where does it find the file? Now, for that, we're going to have to go to our exam folder on our desktop. Okay, so let's browse to this one. And we are looking for, let's just confirm now, I think it is 5 import. That's the file we are looking for. Let me just confirm quickly. Yes, 5 import spreadsheet. There, it said that. Right, so we can click on this one. We're going to go open. All right, now, what its access clearly says to you here, import the source data into a new table in the current database. Right, that's what we want to do. We don't want to append. Append means to adjust another one. All right, and we don't want to link that to a data source. They want us to import. So import is what we're looking for. Let's go OK. Right, now, again, we are looking for which worksheet, and there you saw me make special emphasis on position. They wanted the position table. Let's go and check here. Right, there we can go. Position worksheet. Can you see that? Of the database. All right, so we're happy with that. Okay. Right, and we don't have to change anything here because that's just showing you an example of what it is picked up in that position table worksheet in MS Excel. Okay, right, let's go next. Right, first row contains headers. It looks like it, yes. Look, if I take this off, you're saying to Access no, that ranking ID is part of that data set, which is wrong. Okay, guys, you need to have first row contains column headings. There we go. We go next. Right, a field name. is a rankings ID. Okay, data type, indexed. All right, they're not giving us much on the question paper there, so we're just going to do this. Right, now we do not want a primary key. No primary key. Can you see that, guys? No primary key. Next. All right, import to table. This is where we're going to fill in the name that they've given us, and the name that they wanted there was, let's quickly check, it was 5 table underscore 1. Okay, 5 table underscore 1 is what they wanted. All right, good. Let's go finish. Okay, the table 5 1 is invalid. Okay, maybe that's just me. Sorry, guys. Yes, I had a space when I copied that. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go finish. And so it says finished importing the file to table 1. Do you want to save the import steps? No, we can just go close. Right, and there is my 5 table 1 data. Did you get that, guys? I hope so. Okay, maybe you should practice a little bit of importing data from also where you can find a data set and just work with that. Right, so let me get my ink pen again and let's go give ourselves some marks here. Okay, great. So I was happy that I've got the 2 marks that are there. Sorry, guys, I'm on highlighter. Let's just go back to pen and I've got my 2 marks there. Are you guys happy with that? All right, good. So something different, really, something different there. Okay, right, 5.2 says as follows. Right, let me just change my highlighter there, guys. I prefer green. Right, good. 5.2. Open the table 5 underscore 2 table in design view. So we know what table view is. When you double click it, that's table view. Now we're going to be editing this table 5 underscore 2. All right, so let's go back here, 5 underscore 2, going to design view. Right, here we are. Okay, I am going to close this table 5 underscore 1 though, guys. Don't have too many open here, it gets confusing. All right. Okay, now we need to go back to the question paper and see what they wanted. Okay, 5.2.1, change the race ID field size. Okay, to the minimum number of characters required. Okay, right, and it's 1 mark. All right, so we are looking at the race ID field size to the minimum number of characters required. Okay, now the question is, how did I determine what the minimum size was? Okay, because this is just a text field. You see it says here field size, and it's set to 255. Okay, now for that, guys, we're going to have to actually open up the table and look at it. All right, so if I double click the table here, let's quickly count. A, B, U, 1, 2, 3, space, 4, 5, 6. So if I look down, there's 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And it might grow even bigger than 6. So the minimum that we're looking at is 6. Okay, so that's what I've determined there. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my minimum there, guys, is 6. So let's go back to this one. Design view and race ID. Right, format the field size. My answer there would be 6. Okay, right, you can save that one if you want to. And we can change that out, say yes to do the modification. So that was race ID was 6. Okay. Minimum characters required, we've done the 6. Right. Now, 5.2.2 says, change the format property. So we need to look under the format property of the Grand Prix field so that the data displays like the image below. Okay. So, Grand Prix, Abu Dhabi, GP, Australian, we can see it's a drop-down field. Okay, are you happy with that, guys? Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we have to right-click Design View, and we're going to go look at this Grand Prix field. Now, before I go and design view this, I'm going to ask you, let's just look at what we've got. Right, can you see the Grand Prix field? It's missing something. Can you see it's missing the GP behind it? Look at the example here that they've given us. Can you see GP, 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 GP? All right. All right, good. A lot of GPs there. All right, can you see that? So they want us to add that. What is the symbol for add? Is the ampersand. Okay, so we can do that, the and then add in the letters that it requires. So let's go and do this. Right, good. So we're going to go to design view. Right, we are looking at the Grand Prix field. And here where it says format, we're going to say and, right, and then inverted commas, because it's text, GP for Grand Prix. Are you guys happy with that? Right, good. I'll just pause there for a second that you can just see and, so we're telling and, give me the words or the letters GP. All right, good. Let's save this. Right, and if I double click it, we should see Abu Dhabi GP, Australian GP, Azerbaijan GP. Ah, perfect, guys. So we definitely got the marks for that one. Right, so let's go back to my ink tool here, and I'm happy with that, Mr. Behrens. I've got my 2 marks, and there it says do not change the data type. Do not. Okay, right, so 2 marks there. I'm happy with that. 2 marks in my pocket there. Let me also check this one, because I did get that one right, and the other 2 up there. All right, so far so good, guys. Not all that bad. Hey, grade 12, so you're getting this right. Hope so. Okay. Right, let's carry on. 5.2.3. Ensure that the country field gets its values from the tables or the table countries, okay, as a combo box. Right, now remember, guys, a combo box gets its data from somewhere. Something must populate that combo box with values or data. So you're either going to type it in manually, or it gets its info from another table. That's a law, that's a rule, okay? And that's important for you to understand that. So you're either going to type in values where you use a lookup wizard, or you're going to redirect this combo box to find its values from another table. Okay, that's important. Okay, guys? So in this case, let's go and do this. Right, so let's head over here. And we're going to go back again to design view. All right, and we're going to be looking at the country field. And at the moment, and let me just confirm the country field. Correct, it is the country field that they wanted. I just wanted to check for myself, guys. Country field, table countries as a combo box. Right, so where do we change this to a combo box? Okay, we're going to click on lookup. Right, and we can see at the moment it's set to a display control is a text box. Right, we don't want it to be a text box, so we're going to use the little drop down here, and we're going to change this to a combo box. Right, the row source is from what, guys? Now, that's important, okay? Is it from a table? Is it from a value list? Is it from a field list? So you need to, once again, read your question quite carefully here, all right? Right, so I'm going to say this row source is coming from a table or a query, okay? And that is quite important, and the row source is coming from our countries, guys. That's what they wanted according to the question paper. Can you see the table countries? Okay, so that's all good. Right, let's go have a look if I play this, and let's see if this is going to work correctly. Okay, right, so let's save this. Right, and we are looking at countries. Right, countries, and it drops down, and you can see that it is populated now with the various countries. Perfect. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, no changes there. I'm happy with that. Right, good. Let's just go back into design view again. We know that that one worked perfect. Right, let's go and get our 3 marks there. All right, but can you see, ladies and gentlemen, that highlight is important. You need to read your question. I'd rather spend a little bit more time than reading than going back, Do you understand what I'm trying to say, guys? If I read it, understand the question one time, you're not wasting time on rereading questions. In other words, that's why the highlight is important, okay? Right, good. Let's go back again. Next one, highlight 5.2.4. Make changes, okay, so that the weather forecast field appears as the last field in the table. Okay, right, so that's going to be quite nice. We just simply got to drag that field down. Okay, because they wanted the last field in the table. All right, so let's go to the weather forecast one, this one. Here it is. And I'm in the still design view, and we can drag this going right down to the bottom, and that is now at the end of the table. To confirm this, I'm sure I don't have to do this, but just to prove, let's double click this one, let's play it, and we can see where the forecast is now at the end of the table. All right, are you happy with that, grade 12s? Right, let's go give ourselves those marks there as well. All right, good stuff. Ink. Right, let's go tick on this one, and let's do our tick here. All right, good stuff. All good. Okay, are you happy, grade 12s? All right, I hope so. Please drop a comment. If you can just let me know how you guys are going. Is the videos helping? That's what's important. Okay, right. 5.2.5 says what? Insert a validation rule, okay, for the race date field. Right, so validation means it must meet criteria. Okay, the data that somebody inputs must meet criteria. That's the rule. To only display the dates of races in August and September 2026. Okay, now remember how we do dates in Access. Right, we start with the year 2026, right? Now, August is before September, am I right? So let's go /, right, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August is 08. And then the start of August is 01. Right, that's going to be our youngest date. Are you guys happy with that? And, right, there's my function there, and we're going to still do something before this, and September. We need to go to the end of September. So the races in August should be the 1st, and September, the last day. Okay, so again, 2026, August, September is 09. This time, 31. Let's hope August has got 31 days in it. Okay, right, and again, you can use your calendar and just confirm with me on that one. Oops, and I checked that out, guys. As I said, I'm working with you on this one, okay, guys. No, there is 30 days in September. So let me just do a quick repair here. Right, but I think you would agree with me. That's what's nice, guys, is I'm working through this paper with you. Right, so that's our max. All right, guys. So to finish this off, you would agree with me that our formula is going to be something like this between, all right, between, and then remember, hashtags they're going to be putting in. Right, 2026, 2026, 08, 01, right, and, right, and I think there's a hashtag there, sorry guys, and hashtag, right, 2026, 09, 30. Right, and again a hashtag to close that off. Are you guys happy with that? That would be my answer there for that specific question. Right, let me just see if I can use the eraser, and please pardon my Russian writing here. But that is something that we're looking at for that specific validation rule. Okay, so let's go and test it. All right, good. So we are again in design view. Right, and we are looking for Right, we are looking for the race date. There it is. Okay, and we're looking at putting in a validation rule for that. So let's go and do this. I am going to click on the builder. Why not? It just gives me a bit better space to write that you guys can see clearer. Right, so between, and again, I said to you guys, what's nice is Access will put in the hashtags for you. All right, 2026, right, which was our starting date, was 08/01. And, okay, 2026, 09/30. Those are our 2 days. Okay, let's go okay. And you can see that it has populated it now with the hashtags. All right, did they want a validation text though to say if it's not in? So let's just go confirm that on the question paper quickly, guys. Again, insert a validation rule for the date text field to only display the dates of races in August. And they're giving you 3 marks for that, guys. And I don't know, maybe the marker would appreciate if you do write something in there. Maybe they'll say to you, look, it wasn't required. But again, this is just some revision. So I would say validation text, I'm going to write in there, must be between, sorry guys, must be between August and September 2026. You guys happy with that? All right, you don't have to do that, doesn't seem like it, but I'm going to put it in. Okay, right, so let's go and save this one. And we save it. And I think if we go there, and if I had to, race date, change something in here. Let's just go and test it quickly. I'm going to go to June. Let's see if it will accept it. No. Must be between August and September 2026. So I've tested my rule. I know it works. Can you see that, grade 12s? All right, good stuff. So I'm going to escape on that one. I know that that part is working, and I am going to go get my marks for that one. Thank you very much. Any marks are good marks, hey guys. All right, so we're looking at 3 marks coming in back here again. Right, so ink on this one. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. And there we are. And again, I think you guys should be happy with what I've done there. All right, good. I know it's a bit sketchy there, but I think I've explained that out quite carefully. All right, good, guys. Right. I think that's the end of 5.2. Does it say? Right, save and close table 5_2. All right, great. So we're done with that table. Right, so we can save it, we can close it, and everything is good there. All right, let's carry on with the next section now. Right, 5.3 says, what must we do? Okay, open the form 5_3, which was created from the table ranking. So they're saying the information for that form came from this table. Okay, as long as you understand that. Okay, guys, so whatever's in this form, the table derived from or was found or was created under this table. Okay, right, so important. So let me just explain that to you, I think, guys. This form, 5_3, all its information, when it shows you data, so if I go left, right, here, in other words, yeah, can you see I'm scrolling through this? This information that was populated here, it's coming from the form. Okay, and let's just quickly confirm. All right, it's coming from the rankings table. Right, so it's coming from here. Does it make sense, guys? So this is connected to this. That's important, guys. So I'm just taking an extra minute just to explain that to you guys. Okay, right, good. But we are looking at this form now. Let's see what it's saying. Right, 5.3.1. Use the image 5 background, okay, that can be found in your examination folder as a background for the form. Ensure that the property of the image is set to stretch. Okay, that's nice. They've actually told you what to do with it this time. Okay, usually they leave that blank and they show you, they say to you, make it look like this example. In other words, and then you got to find out, are you zooming, are you stretching? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Right, so let's go to design view. Here we are, and we're looking at this background here. And if you look under format, we can look down here and we can see under data. Let's just have a look and see what we got. I'm just looking around. We go to all. Right, so here we can see is under format, you will see the word background. Okay, so let's go to browse, and we're going to go find in our exam folder the one that they're looking for. And here it is, question 5 background. There it is. We go okay, and they're saying to us, hey, no, we need to change this. Can you see it's just a little picture that's here, and they want it filled as a background. So we have to have our property sheet open, guys. Right, and then what we're looking for is the picture size mode. All right, and so we can look down this list, and here the picture size mode. All right, let me just see. Here it is. Can you see it's set to clip? Okay, we don't want to clip it. We have to click down and put it onto stretch. Okay, and that is what we've got. So we've got a picture here of a Formula 1 race car just now filling our entire page there. Are you happy with that, grade 12s? Okay, so it was background image, look at the property sheet, go down to the picture size mode, and we are changing this to stretch. Are you guys happy there? Okay, awesome. So if you don't mind, I can also just right click, save this, close it, double click the form, and this is what we are seeing. That's a little bit of a dotty picture, I must admit. I would have looked for a little bit more HD there, but that's what they've given us. Let's be happy. Okay, good, got it. Any questions? I hope not. Okay, let's go to design view. You can always rewind and look at that again. Right, so can I give myself some marks here? Absolutely. Let's do this. Right, so we've set that picture to stretch, and it is on the background. Okay, so that's 5.2. Right, let's have a look at 5.3.2 now. Ensure that all the points below 150 in the points field will display in a red font color. Okay, so let's go and have a look. Where are we here? Points. Right there. They want this font to be red, but also they're giving us some criteria here, guys. Below 150. Right, so what are we going to add here? What are we going to change to give us that? That's what you've got to ask yourself now. All right, good. So back here again, I've clicked on the points field so that I know where I'm working in. Right, and again, before I do anything here, I just want to go back to the question. Is this question not? I'm going to ask you a question here. All right, sorry guys, my pen doesn't always put those little dots down. Is this not conditional? Conditional. Ah, come on. Formatting. Okay. I'm not going to write out the whole formatting, guys. I think you get the idea. Is that not conditional formatting? Now, I think some grade 12s do not realize that Access has got that functionality in there. Okay, you can conditional formatting based on certain criteria, just like you would do in Excel. All right, guys? So, they are saying here, if it is below or equals to 150, right? Can you see what I've done here, grade 12s? I've put in a little function here, grade less than or equals to 150. Then it must be a what? A red color. Are you guys happy with that? Okay, so let's go and see if we can do this. Right, so back to Access. I've clicked here. And if I right click here, guys, and I look down, you will see conditional formatting. There it is. Right, let's click it. Okay, there is no rule currently set. Okay, show formatting rules for the points. Yes, let's check. It's confirming points. That's what we wanted. All right, so we're going to go a new rule. Right, the field value is less than or equals to what? 150. Okay, are you guys happy with that? All right, so less than or equals to 150. What are we doing? We're changing the font color to red. Okay, dark red. They said red. Okay, so I'm making sure it says red. All right, guys, field value is, all right, less than or equals to 150. Okay, and then it will change its font color to red. Let's go OK. Let's go apply. Let's go OK. Right, and you could see the rule was set there. Okay, now if I play this, let's just go and look at this view. Let's save it. Right, let's see if any of those will change its color. If it is less than 150, let's check. Right, let's go. Right, so I'm just, there's it. Can you see that? So this Esteban Ocon, that driver, has got less than 150 points, so it's made it red. So that's perfect. We know that the validation rule is working. And again, guys, I can go and say, right, I'm happy with that. I'm going to take my 2 points there, or my 2 marks. That worked fine. Are you guys happy with that, people? Grade 12s, I hope this is really helping. Okay, so again, rewind if you don't know, or you weren't sure on how I did this, you can have a look there. Okay, right, good. Next one, 5.3.3. Insert a button in the form header as follows. The button should navigate to the next record. Use the right arrow picture for the button. Save the command as next. That should be some fun. Okay, good. So we're going back here. We're going to go back into design view. Right, and here is our header. All right, and if you look here under form design, there's the function for a button. Right, so guys, let's go put this button in our header. Right, let's click, and I'm going to drag a space here in the header. Oh, sorry, I didn't click nicely there. Let's try this again. Right, good. There is our button. Okay, now they clearly said to us we must go to the next record, which is under the record navigation. Okay, go to the next record, next. Right, they also said we must make use of the arrow. Okay, don't type anything in there. It's already saying next record there. Right, next. What should we save this as? Next, they said. Right, so there's it, next. Okay, and let's go finish. Right, and there is my button. Okay, guys, now again, they're not telling you how to size it or anything like that. That's up to you there, but as long as the button works. So let's go and test this. I'm going to save it. Right, and let's check. Yes, it's definitely going to the next record. That is perfect. And let's check our validation rule works fine there, which is lovely. And we should reach the end of our data set there. You cannot go past that one. That's the end of the data. That's what's telling you there. Okay, great. So that's perfect, guys. So let's go and fetch our 4 marks here. Okay, so there it is. Let's ink this one. And it's 1, 2, 3. And I think maybe they're giving you a mark somewhere else. But I'm going to take the 4 marks there. All right, now it says we can save and close this form. We are done with the form. So quite nice, guys. Okay, so we've got quite a couple of marks arriving here with general layout and setup of different forms and reports. Okay, not forms and tables so far. Now, here's coming the tricky part. We always know that as we carry on, we're going to get queries. Okay, and queries requires a little bit more higher order thinking here. All right, guys. So let's work together with this one, and let's see how we go with this. Okay, right. So 5.4. Create a new query with the name query 5_4 based on what? The teams table. That's important, guys. Okay, where we got to have the following. All right, now I'm going to pause there first. Okay, and I'm going to do this part first now. Now, some of you guys might decide to use a query wizard. Okay, you can use that. I'm not saying you mustn't use it. All right, and then you set in your criteria from the wizard, which is fine, guys. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, I just prefer having a little bit more controls. So I'm going to use a different way of doing this. Okay. Right, and I'm going to go here to access now, and it's important that we decide where we start our query. Okay, so let's just quickly confirm again in the question. They say we must be based on the teams table. Right, so watch what I'm doing there. Right, so I'm going back here, and I've clicked on the teams table. Right, then I'm going to go to create, and I'm just going to go to query design. I'm not going to use the wizard. All right, guys, you're welcome to try it, but I'm going to go to the design. And here it shows me in the right-hand side the tables that are within the database. And it says that we should link whatever our query is to this teams table. So I'm going to double-click it. And please note what has happened. We've brought in everything that relates to this table. So inside this table, you should see the result ID, the season, the driver name, team position, and. All right, good. Now we can start moving what fields we wanted. And that's what I like about this, is it allows me to quickly add what I want instead of using the query. Are you guys happy with that? All right, so let's go. I'm going to flop backwards and forwards here, guys, to do this. Obviously, when you had the question paper, you could have this on your table and you could read and do, but I've got to flop between the PDF. Okay, only showing the following fields should display. Okay, should display. Okay, so that's important. Right, so we need the season. So yeah, I'm going there, season. Right, double click. Right, and if you double click it, it should pop it in there. There you can see table is relating to the teams. The teams. Can you see it's telling you there? Teams and teams. So it ties up. Right. The second one that we are looking for, and let's go back to our question paper, is the driver name. Okay. Driver name. Let's go back here again. Driver name. Double click. Right, there it is. Second one is in. Right, let's continue. This is fun, man. Access. It shouldn't be. Points. Shouldn't be where we battle. Right, points. Right, here we go. Let's go and do the points. Right, there they are. Okay. And wins. Okay. So we've got to go find, is there wins field here? Yes, there is. Great. So far, guys, that is what they wanted to display. Okay, we can test it by running the query. Right, so have we got season? Let's check. Yes. Have we got the driver name? Yes. Have we got the points? Yes. Let's check. And have we got wins? Yes. So far, this query is right. You would agree with me? Okay, guys? Right, now we're going to continue again. Right, now it says, display a list of all the Mercedes and Ferrari teams, okay, with more than 350 points. Okay, guys, so they're giving us some criteria that this query should give us. They want Mercedes and Ferrari drivers, or teams, sorry, with more than 350 points. Right, so let's go have a look at this. How do we do this? How do you cook the elephant? Let's do it piece by piece. What can I do easily? All right, we can do points. Am I right here, guys? So the criteria is what? Right, so I think you'll agree with me. It said 350 points and more. Okay, so greater than 350. So you can't use equals, guys. They want more than 350. So greater than 350. Did you notice I did not put the equals in there? Because it must be greater than 350. So don't lose that mark by putting an equal sign in there, grade 12s. Okay, greater than 350. Right, now, this little part is not tricky. You just got to think a little bit, guys. Right, they wanted Mercedes. Now, your spelling here is really important, okay, guys? All right, so you need to check that out. And for this purpose of the benefit here, I'm going to I'm going to quickly try and see if I can't just copy this to make sure that we've got everything correct there. Right, so copy, and you need to type this out properly. Right, so under the teams, we are looking for criteria still here. Mercedes, okay, Mercedes, right, right, let's just check. Right, it's happy with that. We're not done. Or, and again, inverted commas, and we're going to pick Ferrari. Right, let's copy this one, and we're going to bring in the Ferrari. That must be there, or Ferrari. Okay, and again, they will be in what? Inverted commas, okay, or Ferrari. Okay, sorry, it's because I scrolled over too much there, or Ferrari, right, and we're going to close our inverted commas. Mercedes or Ferrari. That's what we wanted there, and I'm just going to open that up a little bit for you. Are you guys happy with that, guys? All right, let's run our query, and, oh, that's odd, Mercedes or Ferrari. Did I do something wrong here? Oh, my soul, I know what I've done, guys. I did not bring in the team field. Okay, so that is quite interesting there, guys. So please make sure that you check that. Right, they wanted the team, which wasn't originally there. So I'm going to bring in the teams, but I'm not going to display it. All right, did you see that, guys? And in there, we have to put our Mercedes or Ferrari. That is quite interesting. Okay, guys, so please make note of that. But we're not showing teams, because remember, they said here originally that those are the ones that they wanted to see. Can you see that, guys? So, but Mercedes and Ferrari are teams. So that was our keyword that we had to note with the other field that we had to bring in there. Okay, and that is why this one is 6 marks, because some people will not be able to find that Mercedes and Ferrari under the teams. Okay, so yes, interesting, Maraman. Hey, but we've got it. Okay, so it's not an error, it's just part of working through the paper. So let's run it, and there we can see is the query for Ferrari and Mercedes teams. Now, we haven't saved this correctly yet, guys. So at the moment it's saying query 1. All right, so they gave us a special name that we've got to save it as. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to go save. Let's go back to our question paper and see what we had to save this as. All right, let me escape out of my pen here quickly, and let's go have a look and save it as 5_4 query. So let's go back there, we paste this in now, query 5_4, which is right. And there is my 5_ query. Wow, that was a nice one, eh, grade 12s? Okay, yes, but it makes sense, eh? Okay, so, I mean, even with me, you can see, you know, as I work through the paper, I'm understanding what the paper requires. All right, I'm not just running off a memo for you guys. I'm working through it with you, step by step. We can see where the faults are and how to get our maximum marks for the paper. Okay, so that's perfect. I like. All right, let's close this one now. We're done with that one, I think. Let's go check. Yes, save and close 5_ query. Right, now the next one. Open the query 5_5 now, based again on the teams table. So all these queries are coming from their teams table, okay. Modify the query to display as the screenshot below. So again, we've got season. Yeah, we can see they're using sum of points. Now, let me give you a tip there. When you see that, you know that they've already engaged the formula function. Okay? Important. There's a formula function. You know what I'm talking about, grade 12s? If you're not, you're going to have to go back and check. Right. So they are doing something here where they're adding up points here, and save and close the 5_ query. All right, so let's go look at this one. 5_ query. Let's go to this. Let's just look at it first. What have we got? Okay, so we can see here that it is there. We're getting all this 2,000, whatever the case may be, but they want the sum of the points. So which means it needs to add 20, 24, the 350, the 340, the 360, the 390, the 420, the 570, and give us a total. And likewise for 2025, and likewise. So it wants the sum of all the points. So let's go back into design view and let's look what we've got here. Okay, now we can see that they've engaged the totals. There, look, it's selected. Look, that's off and that's on. So that's nice, okay? So all that we got to do is change how things are being grouped. All right, we're grouping by what? Group by the sum. That's all we had to change was the points, okay, is grouping by the sum. There is it. That's it. Let's check. Let's run the query. Yes, and we're looking exactly the same as the question paper. So the sum total for 2024 is 2085. Let's go check. 2085, yes. 2025 is 2145. Is 2145, yes. And 2026 is 1620. Is 1620. Amen. Let's save this. All right, and we can go and collect our mark for that question. Okay, so I'm going to go back here again, and I can say I'm happy with that one. I got that mark there. All right, good. Right, we are slowly making our way through this paper, guys. Right, and access is a little bit more, seems like it, hey, guys? 35 marks for this question. All right, so, and you want to get these. This is important. So they've definitely put more weighting on access in this prelim paper, okay? Right, so we did save and close, so I'm happy with that. All right, good. Now, open query 5_6 based on the race table. Okay, so we are definitely changing our table now. Can you see we were on teams table? Now this 5_6 is based on the race table. And make the following changes. Right, the price of tickets are expected to drop with 10%. Okay, so if you don't mind, we know that there is happening a drop. Okay, so smaller than. All right. When it's on a rainy day. Okay, so when it's a rainy day, the ticket price will drop. Okay. Display a list of rainy days. That's the first thing they want us to do. Display a list of rainy days. Okay, remember it's a query that we are busy designing. Okay, or modifying. Create a new calculated field with the name new price to display the new price after a 10% deduction on the existing ticket price field. Okay, so it makes sense, guys. So they're saying if it's a rainy day, Shane, give the people some discount. In other words, let's just drop the price by 10% for them. Okay, so again, we got to consider how we're going to build this query. Okay, right. Now, before I go anywhere, when we create a new calculated field, guys, I want you to remember this, right? That there's no heading in that table for new price. All right, so if you don't mind, let me go and show you again. Query 5_6. Let's look at it. Right, do you see a heading here which says new price? No. So we got to create a new field here, guys. Okay, so that is important that you understand that part, grade 12s. Okay, so let's go to our design view. And straight away here in the new block here, I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to build. Right, I want to go to build because this I can see is happening here. And my heading is new price. So far. And to stop the heading, we got to tell Access, okay, this is where my heading is going to end. The rest is the calculation. All right, that's important, guys. And to end the heading is a colon. So I'm going to go back here. I can't scribble there, guys, but I can write here. All right, so again, I'm going to remind you. We said, right, a new price. Okay, and I know my writing is this. I wish I could get a bit of a high definition. And the colon, that one is really, really important. That says that's the end of my new heading, the colon. Okay, important. All right, good. Okay, guys, we can carry on now. Right, now, how do I work out the 10% of the ticket price? Come on, guys. Here's some maths lit. Right, so I'm going to double click the ticket price. Okay. Now, again, remember to take that expression out if we're using the builder. Okay, guys? All right, good. Right, so there we are. We're going to take the ticket price. And what are we going to do with the ticket price, guys? How do I get 10%? Come on, maths literacy, help me out here. Surely we're going to multiply by 10. Right, multiply by 10. And we divide by 100. Right, so far. Okay? Now we're not done. I'm going to show you what we've built. So I'm cooking this elephant bit by bit for you. Right, let's go check. We go okay, and let's run the query. Right, so what have we done? We've created the new heading called new price. And what we've done is we've worked out 10% of the ticket price. There. Can you see that, guys? Important. Right, we're not done. We can't sell it for 680. This is only 10% of it. Right. So we need to add the ticket price here and subtract that amount there. So perfect. Let's go and do this. Right click, design view. Right, we're going to go back to our builder. Right, and over here in the front, what did I say to you guys? Oh, so yes, we need to add the ticket price. So there again, remember guys, please take out these expressions when you are using the builder. Okay, right, so we are taking the ticket price. Okay, right, and then here we are subtracting the ticket price. Right, and take out the expression Mr. Berrien says there. Right, good. So we got the ticket price, which what it was, minus the 10%, and that's the formula to calculate 10%. Are you happy with that, guys? Right, let's go. Okay. Right, and let's go and see. Right, so with the discount, if it's a rainy day, they're not going to pay 6,800 Rand anymore. It's now 6,120 Rand. And it goes down. Perfect. We know that our formula is working beautifully. Okay, guys, there's just one thing left. They said for rainy days. Now, we do not know when it's rainy days, but we can see here, look here, weather forecast. Can you see that? Right, so we need to now put in some criteria here to only show the rainy days. That's what they wanted in the question. So let's go back to design view again. Right, and we're looking at the forecast. Right, and the word we're looking for is rain. We saw that there. Okay, so it's important to look between your, not just play the query, guys. You got to look between the data sets, okay? Right, let's save this one. Let's run it, and there is our rainy days only, and that is when they can receive the discount. Okay, how nice is that, guys? Hey, this is powerful, man. Yeah, it's not so bad. All right, you just got to think, just read what you are seeing in the question. Okay, and then you can follow up with the logic that goes behind it. Okay, let's close this one. I think we are done with that question. Let's just go and confirm, yes. And that is save and close the query. And that is giving me, again, I'm going to ink. And that gives me my 4 marks there. 1, 2, 3, 4 marks there. That's great, guys. Okay, we're nearly reaching the end of this 35 marks. Okay, now, obviously all our queries are done, our reports are done, our forms are done. Our last aspect in Access is where we look at the reports. Okay, and the report is obviously what gets printed, should they want that, or sent as a PDF or whatever they require. Right. Open report 5_7. All right, let's go and look at this 5_7. So there we can see it. Okay, expected winners, right, and there it goes. Okay, right, great. So we could see that. Okay, let's go see what more they want here. Based on, so it's getting its information from the race table again. So let's just quickly explain again. This report's data, this information that you're seeing here, is coming from the race table. Okay, so in other words, this was populated here in the race table, and it's put it in a lovely report here, which we are seeing. That's what they're telling you. Okay, right. Make the following changes to the report. Add a function in the group footer to display the average number of laps for the expected winner. Okay, so there's a little bit of things that's happening here. Right, so number one, we're adding the function. Number two, it must be in the group footer. We are then displaying the average number of laps for the winner. Right, so there's 5 aspects of that in this question. Okay, so let's go to design view in the report and let's see how we can add that to the group footer. Okay, right, so I'm in the design view, guys, again of this report 5_7. And what we need to do is I'm going to first calculate the average laps here, where it says average laps per expected winner. Can you see that, guys? It needs a formula in here. Now, the easiest way to do this, guys, is you can either type it in there or you could use the builder. So again, I like the builder. It's up to you guys. If you can code it out straight away, that's fine. But I'm going to click on data and I'm going to go to the control source here and I'm going to click on the ellipsis and the builder is going to open up. And what we're looking for is first the average. So if I go to functions here, built-in functions, I can see here the AVG is for average. And it says that the arithmetic mean of a set of contained values average. Okay, that's what we want. And again, your expression needs to be inside here, guys. Inside the brackets. You see what I've done there? I've taken that out. Okay, so average, and it's waiting for us now. What average do you want in there? Okay, and in this case, we're going to click on back on report 5, and we're looking for the laps. So did you see what happened there? Is we had the laps nicely put in there. Just check your brackets, spaces and things like that. Okay, guys? Right. So we can then click on OK, and it'll put the equals in front of it nicely, and we've got the average laps, which is perfect. So let's run this. Let's save it and see if it's giving us the average of the laps, which is perfect. There we can see. Average 60.66666 going down there. The next average is 54. The next one is there. They're not telling us much about rounding yet at this point, but we have got that calculating that out, which is perfect so far. Would you agree, guys? So if I went back here, and I'm going to go back to my question paper here quickly again. Right, I could see that I've at least got that part working right. Okay, and we can then focus on moving this and doing the rest of this that they are saying we should do to get the balance of the marks now. Okay, right, now that we've got that calculating right, I think there's just one thing maybe that we could have looked at here, and decimal places, maybe we can set that to 2 maybe. You don't have to do that. I just don't want that long number there, guys. Okay, and the last one that I'd look at is we need to move this under the page header into this footer, which is the expected winner. There's the expected winner in. Okay, let's right click and save. All right, let's run the report, and there we go. Oh, I thought it would still do that. Let me just go and check this carefully. Right, so again, on this one, I just went to format fixed, and 2 decimal places maybe is good. Let's see if that solved that issue, and that's better. So Hamilton will win because of his average per lap, and it goes down. Then we've got Leclerc, okay, at 54. We got Norris at 57, Perez at 51, and Piastri, I hope I'm saying this and I'm not butchering people's surnames, Russell, they're at 68.5. Guys, that is what they wanted you to do. Okay, so really quite easy there. I don't think there was too much of a hassle getting that done. Again, you can rewind the video, guys, and just have a look at how I built this. So just to recap quickly, we added in under the builder, we did the average laps. We also then said, right, we've got to move this header out, which was the expected winner, into this footer that they wanted, that group footer for the expected winner. And that was my marks there. So let's just go back to our question paper, and that rallies off the 4 marks that we needed to get our full 35 marks there. All right, and I'm going to do a little smiley here. I'm glad we've done that one, guys. Okay, are you guys happy there, people? Okay, great. I hope you are. I hope you guys are learning, and you guys are enjoying the videos up to now. Please give me a like and subscribe, guys, if this is helping you guys out to better your skills. All right, question 6 and 7 is still left in this exam paper, and question 6 is website or HTML, and then our last one will be the general section, and then we are done with this 2026 preliminary paper. Okay, you guys are awesome. Thank you for watching and making it this far. I believe that if you are making it this far, you're really interested in improving your marks. Okay, that's it for me. See you in the next one.